What you make of your life is up to you. Or it could also be you will forget all of this. You can remember it whenever you want. It's just really a quick note. I've just got back from Hayley's. I'm a bit stiff and tired, but at the same time, exhilarated. Really. It's also the first time, apart from talking to Bron about writing, it's the first time, certainly the first time recently or for a long while, that I've really shared my kind of creative ideas. And for me, that's just such a rewarding, it might sound a bit self-indulgent, but such a rewarding thing to do and to share. And with Hayley, who's drama trained and had such good ideas. Oh, she said, so you're just going to just write the book while you stand up there and talk? I mean, that is wild. Obviously, because my main talent is really actually writing, actually getting the right words on paper. And also I want to do the magical stuff, like when you do a typo and it kind of means something, or you accident, to leave in all those little funny quirks and strange anomalies like that feel a bit magic. So I want to craft it and get it as written as possible. She said, you could have the odd blank page. And I was thinking about that on the way home. How fab would that be? So it's like, okay, well, this next bit is blank. So this is the bit where I decide what to do in the moment. And you could just look round and say, does anyone want a tarot reading? Or just look at the audience. Okay, I'm really feeling, a real connection with you. Or, are you getting uncomfortable? Does everybody want to stand up for a minute? Or, I don't know. I'm minded to speak about this because that reminded me of this when I was reading, make something live at the moment. So, that was great. And the funny little episode about the parking was funny. I mean, that was such a strange thing. I mean, I am crap at parking. I get anxious about it. My cognitive abilities go out the window and I'm tired. Like when we were in Hertfordshire, and this would be an interesting segue into talking about Hertfordshire, I guess. Not Hertfordshire in general, but our time there. And when we were at the marina, and I could just never park, and I'd get home and I'd done this hard job all day, and I'd driven along the M25, which was like the pinnacle of achievement for me. And then I get back and I've got to try and park, and it was just it was hell. One time this man from the boat directed me into I kept thinking I was going to hit the other car, and then I got good at reversing as long as I lined up by this tree. But a lot of the time I'd have to call John to come and park. So I'm a bit crap. But even by my standards, it was weird tonight. We just couldn't find anywhere. Everything's blocked off till 6. And then I went off by myself to find somewhere, and I found one place together, but it was on a hill, and I'm a bit paranoid about my handbrake, and it was a bit of a residential bit where people might be a bit funny about your parking. So you're all the worse for your handbrake failing. And then there was this other one, and it looked like it was probably okay. It was opposite a drive, and there was a yellow line on the other side, and the car was just one side of it, and I lined up with that, but then I kept scuffing the leaves to see where the line ended. It just never seemed to end, so I'd go back a bit more, and then I was like, I'm just going to really nestle in too much to the car behind. So just kicking up these leaves, looking for this yellow line that would never end. In the end, I gave up, and then just couldn't find this other place. Eventually sat down, then I couldn't see any signs, so I went to the end of that, and then that opens out onto this road. Before that, trying to park on the main road, we thought we couldn't park on it. Actually, you can, really, but it's not very easy, good place to park necessarily. But then this opens up onto this road, and it's by the park, and it's like, I've parked there before, and it's there's the top bit is residents only till 6. The other bit is just 2 hours till 6. So any time from 4, we can just park from there. There was loads of space, and dusty leaves, all just nice little leaves, peaceful, loads of space next to the park, a shortcut through to Hayley's. And it's like, I knew about this place. You know, I knew about that before. I parked there before. But, you know, why didn't I think of it? And it's like, was right there under my nose. So it was just like, yeah, okay, that's a metaphor, isn't it? Literally went down a couple of dead ends, had to reverse. There was a van reversing. It was all like quite a palaver, and about a good hour of driving about and, oh, park here, I don't know. I even went down these bits that looked a bit rough. Yeah, and I had to do this terrible, like, you know, 3-point turn in this really crowded area, had to reverse back. Yeah, it was just so uncharacteristically difficult. And yeah, 3 cats walked across, 2 there, 1 when I got home. And the marble thing. So I took this foot spa in for work, to this idea of the foot spa with the marbles, and I had this idea of a mesh, putting a couple of marbles in to make a fidget toy using the mesh that you get from Satsuma. So I brought one from Garlic there to do, and suggested this to Jason. Anyway, no one did any of that, and that's fine. Then I go to the probation office, and there on the desk, someone's left on the table, you know, a green netting. I mean, it's machined at either end, and it's as a tube with a marble in it. I mean, it's a manufactured fidget toy. It's pretty much exactly what I was talking about. And how often do you see those? I mean, yeah, it was crazy. And anyway, talking out loud about all this project and everything, not everyone is like this. I mean, obviously artists are like that, but even some artists are like, oh yeah, I really should make some art, but you know, this isn't even really intentional. You know, it just comes, you know. And yeah, I mean, I should follow it through. So yeah, the to-do list: make the books, print the letters, make the books for the letters, maybe make the letters in another format like an audio or a booklet or both. Stick these videos onto a YouTube channel set to private just to keep them safe. Yeah, that's the letters project done. Oh, obviously write up the last Witch Club, plan the next Witch Club, and that's sort of an ongoing thing. And then, yeah, this book. So based kind of on the omens. There's another cat walking across now. Yeah, cats. It's cat time though, about 11:15. Yeah, I suppose, you know, start with the omens. I like that bit about writing about the omens, but then I'm also writing about, you know, Fagash, Lil, around my mother-in-law's, and just going off on the Ulysses. Yeah, so Ulysses, Art of Asking, because that was all over the place as well. I'm just putting in bits and pieces, put in conscious conversations, put in relaxation exercises, stick them all in at the appendix. Don't put them in the body of the text like I tried to do before, because then it gets all cluttered and you get in a muddle. It becomes unwieldy and unmanageable. Go back to triangles of the strongest shape. Look at that. Yeah, and yeah, play around, you know, start writing something based on omens or based on every day, and then just let yourself go off onto tangents, reflections, memories, weave in extracts from other things, stick them in the appendix, put them in. Yeah, maybe just stick them in the appendix, to be honest, any bits that you like. Oh yeah, I lived on a boat while we did that. Yeah, or I wrote this and then stick a bit in. And the same things come up again and again, don't they? Synchronicities, ideas, it's all the same kind of ideas. Might not even take that long to collect enough material. But you know, obviously there's no date on it. And then write it. Yes, write it as if it's written for a performance, like the first note that I did the other night. That I actually played Hayley, you know. I mean, that's quite a personal thing. But yeah, she said it sounded good. The voice sounded good. Not like tonight because I'm so tired, but this is just a note. But it's like, yeah, who is this person? And it's like, yeah, this is like me as, well, obviously it sounds so pretentious. Yeah, me as an artist, you know. This is like, yeah, this is a thing. And again, it's a thing I have to do on my own, and I have to kind of refocus. maybe refocus some of that energy that's spent on other people when they don't need me to spend it on them, to focus it, on this, to, achieve real self-actualization. And yeah, maybe I do want recognition, and maybe it's okay to want it. I don't like being underestimated. It's true. I've said that a lot. I don't like being underestimated. I don't even like it that one of my kind of managers didn't have my phone number. You know, like didn't know it was me, and yeah, and it's like yeah, who is this person? And it's if you have the urge to make some art, you should do it. And there's so much against it, isn't there? And just like there's so much against your life is, privilege aside, and I mean privilege as in not living in a war zone, what you make of your life is up to you. And yet, so many people, it's given over to the milieu in which they live, the the conditioning and everything, and their partner, or I'm free. I am totally free. I said the other day, makes me want to go off and be an artist, reading Walk Through Walls. And John actually said, well, if you want to, we sell the house, we get a cheaper house in Liverpool without a mortgage, and you can be an artist. I would totally support you with that. Probably still couldn't afford to do it, but who has that much, And and the engagement with the world and all the other things, it's the grit, isn't it? It's the grit and the oyster and all that. Anyway, I am totally exhausted. I've booked Tuesday off, and I'm hoping I can get, well, I suppose in order, which club written up, maybe which club planned. I might be out of the way. And then, because I think it's only about a week away, and I don't even know what day it is half the time. And and the other day, driving home, I don't even know where I lived. It took me ages to. Do I live in Daventry, Hertfordshire? Where's the nearest town? It's like, oh no, in Yarmouth. Actually live here. We're not just visiting. And but I think that sense of slight dislocation, ready to leave, but not too rooted. You got free flexibility. And I think that's good. Anyway, good night. I don't know who I'm saying good night to. Maybe one day I'll put this on YouTube and it will be to someone. And you'll think, wow, that was crazy. Okay, good night.